Already saved money today? You know Jim? Jim has decided to follow the path of a frugalist and join the FIRE movement. He wants to become financially free in 10 years and earn more money each month from passive income sources than he can spend. To do this, he has written down many savings tips that he plans to implement into his life. He wants to get to a monthly saving rate between 60 to 70%. When Jim searched for savings tips on the internet, he found thousands of websites about this topic. To save, you need to know your finances. How much money do you spend on what? Divide your expenses into different categories and determine how much you want to spend each month. Categories can be rent, insurance, heating, electricity, groceries, subscriptions, activities, dining out, car, and so on. As a principle, your fixed expenses per month should be no more than 50% of your salary. If you want to get to a savings rate of 60 to 70% like Jim, your fixed costs should only be 30 to 40% of your income. Fixed costs are fixed monthly expenses that are incurred every month. For large purchases, you should always follow the 30-day rule. This means that you pause before making a purchase and reflect on whether you really need the item. On the one hand, you can imagine what it's like to own the item, and on the other hand, you can imagine how far the money would take you in your journey to financial freedom. The rule saves your hard-saved money from expensive and unnecessary impulse purchases and allows you to calmly consider the reasons why you think you absolutely want the item. For small purchases, you should apply the 10-minute rule. Another good tip is to ask yourself how long will you have to work for it. Calculate your real hourly wage beforehand. Over a month, add up all the time and material costs that your work will cost you. Then divide the working time minus the expenses by your wage. Jim knows that his real hourly wage is only $19.50 and is often not willing to work 2 hours for a new pair of shoes. If you know how much money you're spending, have canceled unnecessary subscriptions, review your insurance annually, and either avoid big purchases or buy items used, you'll already unleash significant savings potential. As promised though, Jim has come up with a concrete list. Here are his top tips summarized in categories. Number 1. Groceries and food. Write yourself a shopping list and follow it. This way you will always avoid impulse buying and you will not be manipulated by advertising or good marketing. If you only want to make a small purchase, do not use the shopping cart. Buy local products and prepare your own meals. Avoid fast food and don't use delivery services. This is not only healthier, but also saves money. Only buy enough so that you don't have to throw anything away. Food is also often available at reduced prices or for free through food sharing platforms. This is also good for the environment. You can grow a lot of food in your own garden or harvest it in nature. Attend a course or a wild herb hike and get inspired by our nature in a new way. Just make sure before you harvest wild foods that you are allowed to harvest there and that you have the knowledge. Do you usually go shopping at your local supermarket? Check regularly if your supermarket or weekly market is cheap, and if necessary, go a little further to go shopping. Number 2. Clothes and shopping. You love shopping, especially clothes. Take a close look at your closet. How many items of clothing were you convinced you would love to wear, but you don't wear them? Clean out your closet and sell the unnecessary clothes. Next time you go shopping, remind yourself that you've already made many purchases that didn't make you happy and cost you a lot of money. A sweater for $20? You work an hour for that. Instead, try new combinations with your clothes. Repair broken pieces and use swap meets to trade clothes instead of buying new ones. This way, you also help the planet. Your old clothes are reused and you have new clothes regularly. Of course, you can buy new clothes from time to time. Just make the decision consciously. Number 3. Expensive hobbies and vices. In this category, you should always focus on the second core of frugalism. What makes you happy? What do you really want in your life? Cigarettes, alcohol, and coffee are expensive vices that are unhealthy for your body. You drive the expensive car, the 300 meters to the supermarket? That is an expensive and unhealthy vice too. You also must take a differentiated approach to expensive hobbies. How much joy do you get from the activity? If you already look forward to your Saturday golf game on Mondays, which at around $60 cost you 3 hours of real hourly wages, then this is a hobby you should continue to pursue anyway. If you consider money to be life energy, then you need to consider whether the activity is worth the amount of life energy. Is your quality of life improved by the hobby? Number 4, rent out unused living spaces or move. If you have a larger living space than you need, you can save a lot of rent. You have two options. You can rent out a room to travelers on a short-term basis or to a subtenant on a longer-term basis via various platforms such as Airbnb or 9flats. If you are renting, you should check whether you are allowed to do so according to your rental contract. In any case, inform your host in advance. If you can't imagine living with another person, you can also move. Look for a cheaper and smaller apartment. Use the move to review your belongings, sell what is unnecessary, and note possible ways to save money in the future. Number 5, sell your car. Do you have a long drive to work? Then you should think about moving. The shorter your way, the more time and money you can save. Your car is one of the biggest liabilities. That means it costs you a lot of money every year. Add up the purchase, garage, fuel costs, insurance, and maintenance, and calculate how many hours you could borrow a car or rent from a car sharing service. In addition, use your bike more often, or walk if you don't own a car. This will save you thousands of dollars over the years, and is much healthier. Especially if you live in big cities, you can use public transportation. If you can't or don't want to sell your car, check your wheel pressure regularly and drive fuel efficiently. Carpool and use your car as rarely as possible. You can also share your own car with other people. Number 6, borrow instead of buy. Borrowing is always better than buying. It's cheaper, you meet new people, and you can socialize. Furthermore, you can get a library card. Most libraries now have a large online collection and include not only professional and entertainment literature, but also music, audiobooks, movies, magazines, and computer games. In a sense, you're borrowing a variety of media here for a small annual fee. As a rule, it pays off to borrow 1 or 2 books from the library. Number 7, give up the gym. Gyms have a great appeal to many people. There are fit, beautiful-looking people stealing their bodies every day, but all the equipment is not necessary to have a healthy and fit body. A lot of studies have proven that exercise in the fresh air is much healthier. Strength training with weights is not necessary. Your body weight is usually enough for the exercises. If you want to train with weights, you can buy used dumbbells. If you like a particular piece of equipment, it is financially better in the long run to buy it used. If it's in your living room, you can use it more often anyway. There are many fitness videos on YouTube that will guide and motivate you through varied workouts. You can provide a lot of variety and meet friends for jogging. Sports are very healthy and should definitely have a permanent place in your everyday life, but you can save money for the tight, sweaty gym. Number 8, save electricity. Don't leave appliances on standby. Always turn them off. Find out which appliances use the most electricity. Borrow an electricity meter and find out where you can save the most. Here are a few tips. Turn down the heating to about 60.8 to 64.4 degrees when you are not at home. There are now attachments with timers that will do this automatically or that you can control via app. When you ventilate, open all windows for 5 minutes. Check regularly to see if your electricity provider is the cheapest. Utilize the capacity of applications by fully loading the washing machine or dishwasher. Pay attention to energy consumption when buying appliances. It pays off in the long run, even if the purchase price is higher. Number 9. Stay healthy. Medical expenses, medications, supplements, and surgeries are very expensive. First of all, I need to make it clear that you should definitely go for checkups and examinations. This can also help keep you healthy. However, being sick is not only unpleasant, but also expensive. For this reason, take care of your health by eating healthy foods, exercising regularly, meditating, and listening to yourself. Your body and your wallet will thank you for it. Number 10. Keep a budget, life, and success book. In the budget book, you record all income and expenses monthly and thus have an overview of every dollar that comes and goes. However, it is also important to integrate a life and success book into the budget book. With this, you can note which expenses you have made and for what reason, and how happy it makes you. You can also note when you didn't make an expense and calculate, for example, how much closer you are to financial freedom as a result. That makes you happy. Jim looks at the list and is satisfied. He knows there are many more saving tips out there, but he has written down his big 10 here. He looks forward to the next few weeks and is excited to see the difference he can make in his savings rate in 3 to 6 months.